Hello, my powerful Scorpios, and welcome back. I am your guide on this journey through the mysteries of your soul, and today, I need you to lean in, silence the noise around you, and let your heart open, because what we are about to uncover is not just about a party or a gathering. It is about reclaiming your peace in the face of Scorpio 40th reunion stress. This August 2025 is unlike any other. The energy of your Scorpio August 2025 horoscope carries echoes of the past, karmic connections resurfacing, and old stories you thought were buried rising to test your emotional balance. But listen carefully, because this is not a warning of doom. This is an invitation to rise into your highest self, to embrace Scorpio Peace Strategies 2025 that will protect your spirit and allow you to walk into that reunion radiant, centered and untouchable. Have you felt it already? That restless energy in your chest when you think about seeing faces from decades ago. The pulse of reunion anxiety mixed with curiosity. A whisper of old wounds mingled with the hope of closure. Yes, my Scorpio. Your soul recognizes that this is not just another social event. It is a karmic checkpoint, a sacred moment where your past and your present collide. But you are not here to drown in memories, or let other people's energy dictate your state of mind. You are here to embody peace, to shield your aura, to claim your transformation. Imagine this, stepping into the room, calm, graceful, protected by your inner light. No words or glances can shake you because your energy is sovereign. That is the Scorpio Empowerment 2025, written for you in the stars. So stay with me until the end of this video, because together we will unlock the tools, the mindset, and the spiritual armor that will ensure your reunion is not a source of stress, but a catalyst for healing, growth, and deep, unshakable peace. Scorpio, let's pause and look at why reunions, especially a milestone like a 40th, tend to feel so heavy for your sign. Because beneath the surface, there is more than simple nostalgia at play. Reunions have a way of stirring the depths of your emotional memory, unearthing not only moments of joy, but also unresolved fragments of your past. And as someone ruled by water, you feel these currents more strongly than most. You may find yourself suddenly remembering an old slight, a friendship that dissolved, without closure, or a love that once defined your youth. This is the Scorpio gift and challenge, the ability to sense the intensity of connections long after others have forgotten. And when August 2025 arrives, cosmic alignments highlight those very pressure points. It is not by accident that certain people or memories resurface. It is a karmic nudge urging you to recognize how far you have come, but also to release what no longer belongs to your present path. Reunions often trigger Scorpio emotional balance, because they confront you with versions of yourself you have long outgrown. Seeing someone who once dismissed your potential may spark a flicker of anger. Encountering an old rival could reawaken feelings of competition. And meeting a past love might leave you questioning unresolved emotions. Yet here's where the transformation begins. This is not about drowning in old stories. It is about stepping into the role of observer, noticing the pull of old energies without losing yourself in them. You hold the power to choose how you engage. And that choice becomes your path to peace. Think of this gathering as a mirror, showing you both the wounds you have healed and the ones still seeking release. The very stress you anticipate is actually an opportunity for growth, Scorpio. Your horoscope for August 2025 points toward a moment of karmic connection, but also a profound chance to clear past life echoes that linger in your field. What feels like anxiety is in fact your intuition preparing you for healing. So instead of fearing the weight of reunion triggers, recognize them as signals guiding you toward inner freedom. And remember, you are no longer the version of yourself that walked those school halls decades ago. You are wiser, more powerful, and ready to turn the emotional challenges of a reunion into a declaration of your strength. As the date of your 40th reunion draws closer, Scorpio, anticipation begins to weave itself into your daily thoughts. And with it comes a unique blend of excitement and unease. You might picture the faces you'll see, the stories you'll hear, and the subtle comparisons that naturally arise when people gather after decades apart. For some signs, this is light-hearted nostalgia. But for you, with your deep emotional nature, it can feel like an emotional test you didn't ask for. Nights may bring restless dreams, flashes of old conversations replaying in your mind, or even that quiet hum of worry that you won't quite fit into the expectations others hold. This is the signature of reunion anxiety, not weakness, but a reflection of your sensitivity to energy and history. And as August 2025 approaches, the cosmic climate heightens this sensitivity, pushing unresolved patterns to the surface so you can confront them with clarity. When you notice yourself overthinking outfits, conversations, or whether certain people still carry judgments, pause and breathe. Realize that these thoughts are echoes of the past, not predictions of your future. The truth is, what feels like stress is really your intuition preparing you to set boundaries and claim inner calm. This is why stress management becomes more than just a practical tool. It becomes a spiritual practice for you, Scorpio. Your emotional balance is your greatest shield, and the reunion is not a stage for proving yourself. It is a classroom for learning how to remain centered while surrounded by the swirl of collective memories. If you find yourself comparing achievements, careers, or appearances, remember this insight. Your worth was never meant to be measured against anyone else's. The universe designed your journey with unique lessons, and those lessons have forged your resilience. Every trigger you anticipate is actually an invitation to see yourself clearly. Beyond old labels, beyond outdated roles, you are not who you were at 20, 30, or even yesterday. You are the Scorpio of today, carrying the scars of battles survived and the wisdom of transformation. So instead of fearing what the reunion may bring, embrace the anticipation as a reminder of how much strength you have already cultivated. Your ability to walk into that room with steady breath and an open yet protected heart will be the true mark of your evolution. Scorpio, before you ever step foot into that reunion space, the most powerful move you can make is setting your intention. Because when you choose in advance how you want to feel, you shift the energy from reactive to empowered. This is where your reunion survival tips begin, not with rehearsing clever lines or plotting how to outshine old classmates, but by deciding what peace looks like for you. Maybe your goal is simply to reconnect with one or two genuine friends. Maybe it is to practice releasing judgment when you see someone who once made you feel small. Or perhaps it is to walk in, stay centered, and leave without letting old energies cling to your aura. Whatever your vision is, anchor it now, because intention creates focus, and focus protects your emotional balance, Scorpio. The August 2025 horoscope highlights that clarity of purpose will be your greatest ally in navigating this event. One simple but overlooked strategy is preparing your who to engage list. Think carefully about the people whose energy uplifts you, and be just as clear about the ones who tend to stir unnecessary tension. This is not about avoidance. It is about honoring your boundaries. And boundaries are a form of peace strategy in themselves. Also remember the practical side of preparation. Choose attire that makes you feel both comfortable and confident. Study the schedule so you aren't caught off guard, and even create a gentle exit plan, knowing that you can leave at any moment. Helps relieve pressure and keeps you in control. This is not running away. It is protecting your energetic field. One of the most underestimated aspects of reunion stress is how much of it stems from overexposure. So giving yourself permission to withdraw gracefully is a gift. And on the emotional level, start each day leading up to the reunion with grounding rituals, journaling your intentions, repeating affirmations like, "I choose peace over comparison," or "I carry only the energy that serves me." Even 5 minutes of deep breathing or meditation can strengthen your inner shield, Scorpio. Pre-reunion preparation is not about bracing for battle, but about creating alignment. When you step into that room with calm determination, people will sense it, and you won't have to say a word to prove how far you've come. Your energy will. Speak louder than any story, and your intention will guide every interaction toward clarity and peace. Scorpio, let's talk about one of your greatest tools as you approach this 40th reunion: protecting your energy field. Because while others may see this event as nothing more than a nostalgic gathering, you know that certain encounters can carry the weight of unresolved history, karmic echoes, or even fragments of past lives' energy that linger in the air. And that is why creating a spiritual armor for yourself is not just optional. It's essential when you enter a space charged with so many memories. You are essentially walking into an energetic storm. And your sensitivity, your gift of reading between the lines, can also become a source of stress if left unshielded. So start by envisioning yourself surrounded by a sphere of light. Imagine it glowing like gold or shimmering silver, extending just far enough to remind you that your aura is sovereign. This simple visualization is a peace strategy that helps you stay centered, even when old emotional triggers are stirred. Some Scorpios also find grounding stones helpful: obsidian to absorb negativity, hematite to stabilize emotions, or amethyst to enhance clarity. Carrying one discreetly in your pocket or wearing it as jewelry can act as a silent anchor throughout the evening. And alongside physical tools, affirmations become your invisible shield. Before walking in, remind yourself, I release what is not mine. I remain at peace in every interaction. These words are not just statements. They are energetic commands that reshape your emotional balance. Remember too that the August 2025 horoscope highlights a surge of Scorpio spiritual growth, meaning this reunion isn't just a social check-in. It's a karmic checkpoint where your ability to protect your peace will mark your transformation. And if someone approaches with energy that feels heavy or intrusive, you have full permission to disengage gracefully. A gentle smile, a polite excuse, and a pivot toward a calmer space is not weakness but wisdom. Because your soul's growth is measured not by how much you endure, but by how intentionally you guard your inner harmony. This is what makes you powerful, Scorpio. Protecting your energy doesn't mean building walls. It means moving with awareness, clarity, and compassion, letting go of what drains you and leaning into what sustains you. When you carry that shield of light into your reunion, nothing from the past can dim the radiance of who you have become. Now, Scorpio, let's step into the reunion itself, because this is where your preparation meets reality and where the real test of peace begins. The truth is, no matter how centered you feel before walking in, unexpected encounters can stir emotions. A familiar voice may spark memories you thought were long resolved, or a certain glance could remind you of wounds that still carry weight. But this is where your power lies, in the ability to handle each moment with grace. One of the most effective peace strategies is what I call the art of the graceful disengage. If a conversation begins to feel heavy or draining, you do not have to stay locked in. A simple nod, a kind smile, and a polite excuse to refill your glass or greet someone else allows you to exit without creating tension. This isn't avoidance, it's self-preservation, and it keeps your emotional balance intact. Another powerful tool is tapping into your observer mode, Scorpio. Your gift for perception allows you to watch dynamics without being pulled into them. Instead of reacting to every subtle tone or old rivalry, notice patterns from a distance. Recognize when someone's behavior reflects their own unresolved past, not yours. This perspective alone can dissolve much of the stress. And when you feel your energy beginning to tighten, pause for a moment of grounding, take a deep breath in, feel your feet on the ground, and silently remind yourself, I am safe, I am centered, I choose peace. These simple practices may sound small, but they are profound acts of empowerment. Remember that August 2025 is cosmically charged for Scorpio emotional healing. And every trigger becomes an opportunity to reaffirm your strength. Perhaps you'll find a quiet corner for a few minutes, or step outside for a short walk to reset your energy. These little acts of self-care ensure you remain in control of your inner state. So even if old karmic connections resurface, or someone tries to pull you back into outdated roles, you won't be shaken. You'll navigate with calm, your aura shielded and your presence steady. By practicing these real-time tools, you transform the reunion from a potential minefield into a stage where your growth is undeniable, and you leave not with exhaustion, but with the quiet satisfaction of knowing you mastered the moment. Scorpio, once you've found your rhythm in the room and realized that you can remain steady no matter what energy surrounds you, the reunion begins to reveal something deeper, a hidden gift disguised beneath the stress. Reunions are not simply about catching up with old classmates. They are mirrors that reflect your growth, karmic checkpoints that show you where you've healed and where your soul still seeks release. Perhaps you notice that the person who once intimidated you no longer has power over your emotions, or that an old rival now feels like a distant shadow instead of a looming threat. These moments are not random. They are proof of your transformation. The August 2025 energy especially highlights karmic connections for Scorpio, meaning some interactions may feel strangely significant, as if they are echoes of past lives' energy reappearing to be acknowledged instead of resisting them. View these encounters as lessons, each one showing you what needs closure and what deserves celebration. If someone's words stir irritation, ask yourself if it's pointing to an old wound still waiting to be healed. If you feel compassion where you once felt resentment, honor that as a victory of your emotional balance, because this is reunion healing in its purest form. It's not about erasing the past, but about reframing it. When you choose to see the experience as an opportunity for release, even uncomfortable conversations become stepping stones toward freedom. The karmic wisdom here is simple. Every face you meet is a teacher, every interaction a reminder of how far you've come, and every trigger a chance to let go. Scorpio, this perspective is your empowerment. The reunion is not testing you to see if you still carry old pain. It is inviting you to declare through your actions and presence that you have risen above it. You no longer need validation. You no longer need to prove yourself. Your strength is visible in your calm and in your ability to choose peace over drama. Remember, karmic lessons don't always come in dramatic confrontations. Sometimes they come quietly, in the way you smile, forgive, or simply walk away with your light intact. And that is how the reunion becomes more than a gathering. It becomes a spiritual milestone on your journey of transformation. Scorpio, when the night is over and the echoes of laughter, conversations, and old memories begin to fade, the real work begins in the quiet that follows, because the way you process the reunion is just as important as how you walked into it. This is the stage of integration, the point where you gather the lessons and release any lingering energy that might cling to you. And this is where your true empowerment takes root. Start by giving yourself space to breathe. Perhaps the next morning, instead of rushing back into routine, you sit with a journal and reflect. Write down the moments that stirred you, the conversations that made you feel proud, and the ones that left you unsettled. These reflections aren't about judgment, but about clarity. They help you recognize which emotional triggers still have power and which you've already mastered. Journaling also gives you the chance to spot patterns. Maybe you noticed that certain dynamics repeat themselves, like competition, comparison, or old labels trying to surface. These are invitations to heal further, to consciously let go. Scorpio, this is the emotional healing August 2025 is offering you. Think of it as a cosmic detox, flushing out the residue of the past so you can step forward lighter. And as you process, celebrate your victories no matter how small. Maybe you maintained your calm when someone tried to provoke you. Maybe you shared a genuine laugh with an old friend and felt the warmth of authentic connection. Or maybe the biggest win was simply showing up and choosing peace. All of these count, because they are markers of growth. If you still feel unsettled, try simple rituals to clear your field. Burn sage, take a cleansing bath, or spend time in nature to release residual energy. Repeat affirmations like, I release what no longer serves me, or I carry only peace forward. These practices are not just symbolic. They are tools to reclaim your sovereignty, Scorpio. Remember that integration is not about perfection. It is about awareness. And every moment you spend processing helps you transform the reunion from a stressful event into a stepping stone of wisdom. In doing so, you turn what could have been emotional heaviness into a source of strength and deeper clarity for the path ahead. Scorpio, the true power of this reunion lies not only in what happens that night, but in how you choose to carry the lessons forward, because long-term harmony is built by weaving insights from one intense experience into the fabric of your daily life. Think of this gathering as a rehearsal for every other social space you'll enter. A reminder that your emotional balance is not situational, but a skill you can nurture. If you learn to disengage gracefully at the reunion, practice that same art when coworkers or family try to pull you into unnecessary drama. If you discovered the strength to hold your boundaries with compassion, apply that wisdom in your closest relationships so your energy is never drained by guilt or obligation. These are the peace strategies that transform one evening into a lifetime of empowerment. August 2025 is particularly important for Scorpio because the cosmic weather amplifies themes of release and rebirth, meaning the reunion is not just a nostalgic event, but an initiation into your next chapter. So commit to consistent self-care practices that keep your aura clear, meditation, journaling, energy cleansing rituals, or even simply taking time for solitude will help you maintain the clarity you fought to protect. Remind yourself that you are no longer bound to old roles. Those labels people once used to define you don't belong in your present reality. You get to reframe the narrative. Scorpio transformation in August 2025 is about reclaiming authorship of your own story. Instead of replaying what hurt you, shift your focus to what you've built, the strength, the wisdom, the compassion. Long-term harmony also means embracing forgiveness, not necessarily to reconcile with others, but to release yourself from the emotional contracts that tie you to the past. When you forgive, you free your energy for what truly matters. Scorpio, the reunion was a catalyst, but the real victory is what you do afterward. You can either let it fade into memory or use it as a sacred pivot point. A declaration that you will live with peace as your baseline, no longer tossed around by external drama. Every day from now on is an opportunity to reinforce the empowerment you tasted at that gathering. And if you hold steady to these practices, you'll find that the stress you once dreaded has become the very seed of your lasting inner freedom. Scorpio, as we close this journey together, remember that your 40th reunion does not have to be a source of fear or anxiety, but a sacred opportunity to prove to yourself just how far you've come. Yes, there may be flashes of old wounds or echoes of karmic connections, but you now hold the peace strategies that will allow you to walk through August 2025 with grace, balance, and empowerment. You've learned how to prepare your mind, protect your energy, and respond with calm, even when reunion stress tries to pull you back into the past. And that is the true gift of this season, choosing to stand in your power instead of being defined by old narratives. So when you step into that room, Scorpio, carry this truth with you. You are no longer the person you once were. You are wiser, stronger, and aligned with a higher path. This is Scorpio emotional healing in action. This is Scorpio Empowerment 2025. And this is the transformation your soul has been waiting for. If this message has resonated with you, I ask you now to show your support by hitting that like button, sharing this video with a fellow Scorpio who may also be facing reunion stress, and subscribing to our channel so you never miss another cosmic download. Your presence here means everything, and I am so grateful for the energy you bring into this space. Thank you for choosing peace. Thank you for choosing growth. And thank you for walking this path with me. Until next time, my powerful Scorpio, may you carry your light boldly, and may every step you take be guided by strength, clarity, and unshakable peace.